and welcome to day 17 of Ohso Yoganuary. Thank you so much if you're still here, and well done. If you've practiced every day, then it's brilliant, and I hope that you're starting to see some of the benefits. Today, because I've had a couple of questions about the side crow, which was in one of the practices, I think it was day 9, I think it was the Earth Mandala, I thought we'd go through crow and side crow. So just a short tutorial on basically how to get those two postures. And then if you want more of a workout after this, you might want to go back and do day 9 again, and it might help with your Earth Mandala practice and incorporating that side crow in. So for the crow, the front crow, we're going to come onto our hands and our toes. So just sitting down towards the heels. Some of you may be able to get your heels down to the ground. I'm very short here in the ankles. But we want to take the hands down in front of us, not too close to the feet. Just draw the thumbs in towards each other a little, so you're just turning the hands in a little. If you have one of these Life-Form mats or any other mats with the markings on them, this will just show you the angle at which you need to have your hands. So the thumbs are in line with these 45-degree angles. Really spread the fingers, make that nice big solid base. So I've got nice big hands, so this helps to keep me nice and steady, but we're trying to make the hands as big as possible, so we've got this nice stable foundation. And then we're going to take the knees up towards the back of the armpits. So some people will have the flexibility to bring the knees up here. It does help to have non-slippy leggings on, so you can really grip. It also helps if you're a bit hot and sweaty, because again, it helps you to grip more. So I might slide down today. Let's see how this goes. So try and get the knees as high up as we can. And we want to take the knees so they're just slightly outside of the arms there. And as we lean forward, yes, I'm slipping. We are lifting through the tailbone, and we are lifting through the chest, and maybe from there we can lift the toes. We want to make sure that the elbows are directly over the wrists, and we're squeezing those elbows in towards each other as we round the back, so we create that space. So we're lifting the navel up. The chest extends forward as we look ahead. If we look down and underneath us, that's when we're likely to fall down flat onto our faces. If we were struggling with that a little, so we can come back a step, spread the fingers, bring those knees up nice and high, squeezing the arms in. If we can't get nice and high, we could come down to just behind the elbows. So we don't have to go too high up, although that does help to get more height. It does help to lift us up. So bring the knees behind the elbows, make sure these elbows are directly over the wrists. So we've got joints stacked on top of each other, making it nice and stable again. And then just rocking back and forth until you find that place where you think you can hold your balance, and maybe you could lift one foot, then the other. Maybe you could lift both feet. Keep opening the chest, extending the chest forwards, looking ahead. Maybe we can lift those feet. Again, this would be much easier if the knees were higher up towards the armpits. And then just finding your breath. And release down. For a rest between practices, just coming into a child's pose, so taking the knees nice and wide. Just walking the arms out in front, bring the forehead down to the mat. And relax. If you feel like you need to open more through the shoulders, take either the fingers down towards the feet, dropping the shoulders, or you could take a prayer to the back of the neck, bringing the palms together and bringing the thumbs to the nape of the neck. And then you can either come back up, pause the video and try that front crow again, or we could try the side crow. So for side crow, I'll just come and face this way. So we start with our feet together into this little squat again, and then we need to take a twist. So we're going to take the knees to the right, and we want to take the right elbow to the outside of that knee, placing the hand down on the ground. So again, we're spreading those fingers nice and wide. The lower down we can get this elbow, and the more of your arm is touching the outside of your knee, the easier this will be. So it really helps to have a good twist. And then squeeze those elbows in towards each other. As again, we lean ourselves forward. So I'm just going to walk my feet out to the right a little. And then see if we can lift the feet up off of the ground. So chest extends forwards. Really lifting those feet. So coming onto a side crow. So there is an easier way of doing that. So whereas we had two hands touching the ground there, plus we had an elbow or the tricep, the bottom of the tricep pressed against the outside of the knee, what we could do is we could have another point of contact as well. So we can have both the hands, the knee stacked on top of that elbow, which is stacked on top of the wrist, and then you could also have the left hip resting down onto the other elbow or tricep by the elbow. So this takes less core strength and is more of a balancing act. And slowly coming out. So we'll go through both of those on the other side. So we'll take our twist this time to the left. You may find you have one side that's much easier than the other or more difficult. So take that nice twist. So keeping the legs together. See if we can get that left elbow to the outside of the right knee, bringing the hands down underneath us. And we'll start with a slightly easier one first. And we're going to drop that right hip down to the the right tricep. And then leaning forwards. As we lean forwards, maybe we can lift the feet. Because we're stacking the joints here, there's not really much strength needed. So that was with the hip and the outside of the knee in contact. Now we're going to try with just the outside of the knee in contact. So take that nice twist, knees over to the left. Get that elbow really nice and low. Spread the fingers. And this time we need to use our core strength because we're not dropping down here. We need to really use that core strength. Squeeze the elbows in towards each other. Really working the core. Let's try that one again. There we go. And coming back down. I hope that was really useful. I would take another child's pose now, or a Shavasana, or maybe go back and continue the practice with the Earth Mandala from day 9.